welcome to our Solaris stand for Solaris Talks. We love, and I love personally to have that kind of session because it's the opportunity to bring some discussion over topics that are interesting in our industry. Today, I will speak about hydrogen buses or hydrogen technology. When we have meeting with our customers, with PTA, with PTO, with service partners, many questions are arising from that topic on how we can develop a product with hydrogen fuel cell, how to implement a fleet of hydrogen buses. And I will share for the next 10-15 minutes our experience, our knowledge. At the end of the session, you will have the opportunity to ask questions, and maybe I will ask a few questions to them as well. So, first thing about the hydrogen as a whole. Hydrogen is strategic for the European Union because it is answering three main challenges that our countries are facing now and will face in the future. First one is environmental. Hydrogen is a strong option to decarbonize the general industry. Second is economical. Many countries declared some plan of investment because they believe that they can create an industrial sector about the hydrogen. The third one is the energetical independence of Europe. Hydrogen is the opportunity to gain more and more independence from the fossil energy. When we speak about hydrogen, and you see in that diagram, the step 0 is its production. Because hydrogen, H2, is not a pure energy because you don't find it almost on Earth as a natural component. You need to produce it. That's why we call it energy carrier, okay? And the advantage and the real decarbonization is through the electrolysis chemical reaction. We see that the circular sector of hydrogen is invested by many countries. We saw it in Italy, we saw it in Spain, in Germany, in France. There are big plans of investment for the next years. Today, the hydrogen is already used in the chemical sector, not as a green hydrogen, but now we start to see its implementation in the public transport because we can produce green hydrogen. Why is it exciting to have this new energy? First, it's a zero emission, okay? We don't have choice in Europe to go away from fossil energy to reach the carbon zero balance in 2050. When we balance hydrogen and battery electric vehicle, the question is not what is the best energy for public transport. The question from the customer should be what is the best energy for my mission? Very often it's related to a politic desire to invest in the production. We see it in the different tenders we participate. When there is a strong political engagement to produce hydrogen locally, you see massive fleet introduction. If it's just as test a first trial, you see very few units with hydrogen coming from different sources of production to test this energy versus electric. As Solaris, we consider that hydrogen is complementary to electric, battery electric buses. Okay, so we try to advise our customer based on the line they want to implement a fleet on what is the best simulation. In general, some criteria that are used to choose hydrogen versus battery electric, the first one is the long range. You know that hydrogen is bringing a minimum of 350 kilometers autonomy, which is much higher than the highest battery electric. Now some new technologies are allowing to reach that level, but this is for the moment still the premium version that you can get. If you look at the market in Europe, you see it's still a niche market. Solaris decided to invest already years ago 10 years ago, we started to invest with hydrogen extender, okay? But since 5 years, we are producing as mass production hydrogen buses. But in 10 years, you see that only 350 hydrogen buses have been delivered in Europe. Everything has changed in the last 10 months. Since the beginning of the year, more than 600 hydrogen buses have been awarded in Europe for deliveries in 2024 and 2025. So it's a double of the volumes that have been introduced in the last 10 years. How Solaris is answering from the product point of view to the market demand. We launched 5 years ago the 12-meter version. A lot of pictures. Last year, we launched the articulated that you can see just behind you, okay? So we are answering more than 90% of the needs of metropolis in terms of urban buses. Our technology is based on the Ballard fuel cell, which is coming from the heavy industry, because we believe that's the only way to have a reliable solution for urban transport. I was mentioning the minimum autonomy of 250, but depending on the condition, we can go up to 600 kilometers per day in one refueling. Another work or improvement that has been done to prolong the autonomy is the introduction of a new air conditioning system with the heat pump, and is bringing its maximum efficiency when you have temperatures between 0 and 10 degrees. And we can extend in all weather conditions the autonomy of the vehicle. Our performance in terms of sales. In the last 10 years, we have delivered 130 units. Let's say 1/3 of the total market of Europe today. You see that many countries have trusted our solution and our expertise on that field. But what is the most important is what we're going to deliver. And today, more than 75% of the buses, hydrogen buses awarded in 2023 are from Solaris. It is a proof that Solaris is recognized today as the leader in zero emission. Our CEO was mentioning on Friday during the press conference our leadership in the first half of 2023, and our portfolio is showing that we will keep that leading position for the next years as well. I was mentioning early in the introduction the size of the tender and the size of the fleet to be implemented in the countries. Two main tenders, the two biggest tenders in Europe, have been awarded in the last months. One was in Bologna for 127 units, another one in Venezia for 90 units, a mix of 12 and articulated bases. So now you see cities investing massively in that technology, and Solaris is ready to answer that challenge. Now, once the vehicle has been awarded, a big question is how to implement a hydrogen fleet. There are so many questions: safety, competence, training of the people. Our experience is showing that you need to work on 3 pillars to implement successfully a hydrogen fleet. First one is the vehicle safety. We don't have to be afraid to speak about it and to explain what we are doing to ensure the maximum safety of the product. Second one is the infrastructure safety that you will use on a daily basis. The last one is the after-sales competence, because as every single bus, our customer want to use them for the next 12 to 15 years. In terms of vehicle safety, European Union made quite a strong regulation. Of course, as safety is one of our main pillars of our product development, we have implemented the state-of-the-art components. So we have some safety valve in case of hydrogen issues that will help to release the hydrogen in the air even much faster than CNG buses. Okay? CNG now is part of our life. In Europe, nobody is worrying about CNG buses running in our streets. hydrogen with this safety device is at the same level. We have hydrogen sensors externally, internally to the bus, so we can, at every single second, alert the driver if there is something happening with the system. But Solaris, we go much further than the regulation. One very common question that we receive is the leakage coming from the hydrogen tanks. The European Union made a legislation on this, but in Solaris we decided to go much further and to do 3 times much better performance than expected by the regulator. And it's important for us to demonstrate that every time we can increase the safety, we do it. Now the infrastructure. 3 main areas. You have the indoor and outdoor parking. So outdoor in general is at the end of the day when you have to park the vehicle. Indoor when you need to provide maintenance. There are many components available to ensure an active safety. The refueling. Refueling manufacturers are always providing training when you implement a fleet because there are some basic requirements asked to do it properly. The last one is a potential tank leakage, and as I said, it's on a regular basis you need to do some tests to ensure that your system is bulletproof or safety-proof. In Solaris, we are developing our own documentation because very often, or many countries, did not develop a clear regulation on how to use hydrogen buses in your warehouse and so on. So, based on our experience, with the experience of our suppliers, we are providing support through bulletins, through service procedure, advice to customer. That will bring us to the last pillar, as was mentioning, the after-sales competencies. At the end, the job is done by human. And it's important to put all the actors around hydrogen buses, hydrogen fleet together. As Solaris, we have 2 levels of people involved in the support of hydrogen buses. We have our local Solaris in our daughter companies working every single day with our customer. And it starts much before the delivery of the vehicle. As soon as we sign a contract with a customer, we start to implement and to build the plan with them. The second level of intervention are our experts, what we call flying doctors. When in specific areas, in specific question, we are able to send in 24 hours all around Europe. We provide technical trainings to our customer. This is the basis to give them the confidence and the competence to run the fleet. And we have our suppliers, because this is a new energy, a new component put in the market, and we need their additional expertise on some specific requests. Because hydrogen contracts are very specific. It's so easy, because of 50 years of experience, to implement a diesel or a CNG bus in a fleet. Everybody knows about it. Hydrogen, it's majority of the case new. So we prepare tailor-made plan for our customer. We prepare special training for the after-sales people of our customer. Last one, and that could be the synthesis about this topic, is to be successful in the implementation of an hydrogen fleet is to have the 3 parties between the transport operator, our service partner, and our expert in Solaris to work together. In general, we build a plan which is not stopping at the delivery of the bus, but is minimum for the first 3 to 5 years. During the warranty phase, we will give the basic training so they can start to learn how to maintain that kind of bus. In general, our service partner or our own people are doing the repair during the warranty phase, and we use this 3 to 5 years to train the operator employees to be able to do it for the next 10 years of the life cycle. And for the first contract that we have implemented 5 years ago, we have already very good feedback and very good result about it. And this is the plan that we are developing all through Europe. This is what I wanted to tell you about the hydrogen technology, our passion for this technology.